Should you go to the gym when you're injured? Should you go when you're sick? Should you go when you're tired, exhausted, less than 4 hours of sleep? Should you go when you're stressed out? Now I know that most of you probably think of me as an eat nails and sawdust for breakfast kind of guy, but I think you're gonna be surprised at what my thoughts are on all of these situations. Now let's start with the first reason that you might not go to the gym. You're tired, right? Everyone is tired. I'm tired. It may be that you didn't get enough sleep the night before, or you worked out hard, or you worked all day long at your job and you're just too tired to go into the gym, or at least you feel like you're too tired. So what do? I basically will work through just about anything. I've got sleep apnea, so I really don't sleep well at night. I wake up exhausted in the morning. I still get myself out of bed, get myself moving, start to move around, and then I do actually make it to work out, whether I'm tired or not. So for me, it doesn't matter how tired I am. Once I start working out, all of that goes away. And I know there are some of you out there that say, if you're too tired, this is gonna happen to your body and that's gonna happen to your body, and then you're gonna break down and this and that. And guess what? It's a great excuse not to go into the gym. I'm too tired. I get it. Like I said, we're all tired. But once you make it in there, nothing's gonna happen. You're gonna walk out of that gym and you're gonna feel much better than the alternative, which is not doing anything at all, continuing to be tired, sitting down, laying down. Then the next thing you know, you stand up and you're absolutely exhausted. So get yourself into the gym. If you've got 4 hours of sleep or 6 hours of sleep or 2 hours of sleep, it's not gonna make much difference once you get yourself moving. Now, if you're completely exhausted, maybe from being sick, which I'm gonna get into later, and you can barely move, that's a completely different situation. If you're just tired from not getting a good night's sleep or you partied too hard the night before, get your butt out and moving, and I can guarantee you, you will feel better. All right. The next situation that may stop you from going to work out is stress. We're all stressed out, right? I'm stressed out, you're stressed out, the whole world is stressed out. So what do? Do we work out, or do we just kind of sit there in our own misery, maybe go out and have some alcohol or just eat a whole bunch of food because we're stressed? Well, you could do that. Or you could take out that stress during your workout, just like I do. So if I'm stressed, I don't hide away. I get out and I move around and I get that stress out of my system, and it makes me feel a whole heck of a lot better. Like I said, I could go drink a beer, drink some whiskey, drink some vodka, eat a whole bunch of food to make myself feel better, or I can find a much more productive way to do it, which would certainly be to get to the gym, to go wherever you need to work out, but just move, get that stress out of your system. So if you're stressed, go and work out. Now, what's stress? Everyone's definition of stress might be different. You may be having a fight with your wife or your girlfriend. You may have had a ridiculously difficult day at work where you've got deadlines and projects that are ready to go and you need to get them done, and you're completely stressed out, frazzled, right? Your eyes are wide open, you're like pulling your hairs out. Working out is gonna help take care of that stress and give you a positive and productive outlet for releasing that stress, so it doesn't stay bottled up inside of you, and you can actually get it out of your system, reset your brain, and then go back to what you were doing with a much more positive mindset. All right, on to number 3, sickness. Should you work out when you're sick? Now, this one is a pretty controversial topic, and I have a number of different opinions on this. And the first is, it really depends on what kind of sick you are. What kind of illness do you actually have? Do you have the flu? Do you have COVID? Do you have a cold, a runny nose? Did you just get over a GI virus? What kind of sick are you really? Now, the general rule of thumb used to be if your symptoms are above your neck, so anything above the neck, you could come into a public place and work out. But if you had anything below the neck, it probably is not a good idea. So if you've got anything in your lungs, probably not the best idea to work out. at least in a public place. The bottom line is that you've got to read your own body. There are some people that can work out when they're sick, and there are other people that cannot work out when they're sick. Now, if I've just had a flu, I'm not gonna come into the gym. And I've had clients come in to see me when they've had the flu, when they've had COVID, and guess what? I got it. So when I talk about different opinions on coming in to work out when you're sick, if you have something that is contagious, that you know you can transfer to other people and make them sick, stay home. Don't come in to spread the cheer. No one wants you in there. You may want to work out, and that's fine if you think you have the ability to work out and the energy to work out at home by yourself or outside by yourself. Do not, under any circumstances, come in to a public place like a gym and get everyone else sick. It just is not fair, and it's not good manners. All right, on to number 4, injuries. Are you the guy that gets injured and says, I'm not going in to work out? Or are you the person that gets injured and comes in and works out when you shouldn't? Usually there are 2 types of people. That first person, at the slightest onset of an injury, says, oh, I can't work out. I can't go to the gym. I can't do anything. I'm injured. I hurt my shoulder. I hurt my elbow. My pinky hurts. My wrist hurts. And then you've got that second person who's got an injury that just won't go away, and they keep going into the gym over and over and over and either re-injuring it or prolonging the process. And I can tell you which guy I am. I'm guy number 2. I go in no matter what. It doesn't matter what kind of injury I have. As long as I can walk, as long as I can move my arms, I am going to work out. And I'll be able to work around my injuries. And that's a big thing. Most people, when they come in and say, hey, I've got an injured shoulder, I can't work out today. And you know I've said this before. I'll ask them, do you have legs? Do you have another arm? Do you have abs? Do you have lower back? And then they finally look at me and go, well, yeah, I guess I do. But I really don't think I should work out. My doctor said I shouldn't work out because I've got a hurt shoulder. And your doctor may tell you, yeah, don't work out because you've got a hurt shoulder. And you can take that advice and get set back, or you can take that advice and maybe heal up a little bit faster. Again, what I do is I try to work through injuries as long as the injury is not significant. If I've got a little tendonitis in my elbow, or if I've got a little pain in my wrist, or my shoulder's bugging me, my rotator cuff's bugging me, I try to do a bench press, shoulder hurts, I'm gonna try to find a way to get through that exercise productively, whether it is working out adhesions in my rotator cuff, adding mobility, using bands, different modalities. So maybe I'm not gonna weight train today, I'm just gonna use bands. But usually there is a way to work around injuries. Again, if you're not debilitated. If you're in the hospital, if you got both legs in a cast, you're not coming in to work out. But maybe in your hospital bed, you can do some band exercises. So there's always typically a solution for injuries. You just have to understand what your injury is and if it's really significant enough not to work out, or if it's significant enough that you shouldn't be working out at all. Rarely are there situations, other than catastrophic situations, where you're not going to be able to at least do something. And the last reason that you may find yourself not going to work out is that you're too busy. Now, I'm busy, you're busy. Like I said, the whole world is busy, and we've got a lot more on our plate these days than we did in the past, at least when I was growing up. If you are busy, the solution is not always simple, and there isn't always a solution. So don't let people who are in the gym like me all day long, I'm with clients, I own the studio, I'm in here. I have no excuse not to work out, even if I have 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes. There's no excuse for me. If I'm not in the shape that I'm in, there's something wrong with me, and that's on me. Not everybody is going to have the same amount of time that I have. And I don't have a ton, but I optimize the time that I do have. I like to tell people to schedule time in your scheduler. So put it in your phone. I'm working out, whether it be for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, whatever you have time for. Put it in your schedule and you're more likely to get the job done. Now, if you're in a job that you're working 18 hours a day, you go home, you sleep for 6 hours, you go right back to your job, it really may not be practical for you to get a workout in that day, and that's okay. Try to move around as much as you can. I've said this before, You can find your workout under a rock, just like religion. You just have to look for it, because it's out there. It may be 10 squats, 5 push-ups, a wall sit, anything, just to get yourself moving, just to give yourself the ability to have movement and not sacrifice the gift that most people were born with. And that's the ability to move and the ability to exercise and work out. So like I said, it's not always practical. It's not always impossible. If you try your best to make the time for yourself, you'll be able to be more productive with everyone else, and the rest of your day is going to get a lot easier. So if you're busy at work, busy at home, you may need to step away for 5 or 10 minutes, sprint up a hill, go for a 5-10 minute jog, whatever it is. Get moving and just move your body, and I guarantee you at the end of the day, you're going to feel a heck of a lot better. So I want you to think about those 5 situations that I went over today and understand that most likely, rather than not, you will be in at least 1 or 2 of those situations in your life. So no excuses. You're better than that. I'm better than that. Let's go.